Psychetruth. Life, wisdom.
Hi, this is Dena Maddie, bringing you the Bikini Model Butt Series that takes you from the most basic moves, like in this video, to the most advanced moves in the next couple videos to make sure you're doing the exercises safely and effectively for that perfect bikini butt. The first move, we're going to do a basic lunge. For anybody that has knee problems, a small folded towel placed underneath the knees will help with a little bit of padding. If your knees hurt a little bit more, put more padding. So I want you to take your hands into a 4 position, so on your hands and knees, and then take your left leg and place it underneath your left shoulder. So come on up a little bit onto your knee, and if your back knee hurts, then try to make sure you have a little bit of padding. So make sure that your back foot is tucked underneath and place your weight into your heel of the forward foot and come on up into a lunge. Right here, you should just feel that back glute squeezing just a little bit down, and then come on up one more time. And this is your basic lunge. I want to make sure that your knees don't go beyond your toes. So doing it like this is actually going to hurt your knees. So we want to go just straight down and up, like you're going down and up an elevator. So we're going to do this 4 more times. Make sure you're breathing in and out. 1 more. And back to the front. And then take your left leg back and go ahead and put that knee down. Make sure you're in the right position. Make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. That's the most important part. Tuck that back foot underneath and raise on up to a lunge. You should feel that back glute squeeze, and then straighten that knee with that soft bend. Soft bend in your knee with the straight leg, and then down and up. If this is challenging, you can always go further down to your knees, or you can take it less reps. If this is not challenging enough, you can always grab onto some weights too. That helps as well. Just give me 3 more right here. 3, and really squeeze that glute on the way up. 2, and then 1 more. And then I want you to take your knee all the way back down. Place your hands back down on the mat. Keep that right leg up, and really just kind of lean into it. So you want to open up that back hip. If your back knee hurts, you can make sure to squeeze that back quad to protect that back knee. But really, this helps open up your back leg as well. Now, put that back knee down and take your left leg up and drop your right knee just further back a little bit if you can, and try to open up that hip. This is a really nice hip opener stretch. If any of you sit for a long time at computers all day or drive a lot, this is a really good hip opener stretch that you're probably really, really tight if you do those things on a daily basis. And back up, and we're going to do 1 more set of lunges. So left foot up, tuck that right toe underneath, and then come on up. If it's a little bit more challenging, you can actually bring your back foot further forward, but just make sure you're not putting that knee past that toe. Make sure you're just going straight down and straight up. Straight down, squeeze that glute on the way up. You should really squeeze that back leg on the way back up. You're doing great. If this is challenging, you can also lower your range of motion as well. So you don't have to go all the way down if you're just a beginner. And try to give me 1 more. And then front of the mat, and then take that back leg all the way back. Drop that knee to make sure you're in the right position. Make sure this knee is not going too far past the ankle. Tuck that back foot, and then come on up. If this is challenging, you can always take that back foot a little bit in, which helps decrease the range of motion just a little bit. So down and up. If this is challenging, you can always decrease range of motion and not go all the way down. If this is not challenging enough, then don't worry. I've got more videos for you coming up. So keep going. Just give me another 3 reps right here. Squeeze that back glute. 2, and 1 more right here. Now, go to the back of the mat, drop onto your knees again, and then we're gonna go ahead and stretch out those hips one more time. So take that left leg around the side, right underneath that left shoulder, and really just stretch out. You can actually extend your back leg for a deeper stretch, kind of like a mountain climber where you just kind of stay in the same position. Bring your foot back, and then you can also drop your knee if that's easier. Whatever gives you the best stretch. But make sure you're on top of your knee and not rolling back on it. So if your knees hurt, try to go to the top of your knee and squeeze your quad. That helps protect your knees from this position. And back up to your knees, and then on to our next exercise. So this next exercise will be lying down, called a glute bridge. And hello to the overhead camera. What do we think of my new glasses? First fitness video with glasses. Should we keep them or ditch them? So I want you to take your feet hip width apart and as close to your butt as you can get them comfortably. And this next exercise, all we're gonna do is raise your tailbone and then lower back down, really nice and easy. Try to keep your knees going inwards. We always want to splay the knees out, but that's not good for your knees. So squeeze your bum, slowly roll up the spine, and you should feel your shoulder blades kind of coming together. And then really feel like you're reaching, like somebody's pulling a string from your belly into the ceiling. And then slowly roll all the way down. We're gonna keep doing that a couple more times. This is really good for your back. Squeeze those bums on the way up and squeeze your knees together. And then slowly lower down. You should really feel this in your glutes. And you should really feel a nice stretch all the way up. You should really feel a nice stretch in your back. This is good for beginner back bends as well. But you wanna focus on squeezing your glutes together and strong, and keeping your knees in. And relax, roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down. We're gonna keep doing this a few more times. Come on up, squeeze, and then raise your heels, and then come all the way down, keeping your knees down, keeping your knees together. 2 more times. Squeeze, glute bridge up. This is really, really simple, but you'll feel this. It's a very, very effective exercise. And make sure that your shoulder blades are touching the ground while you're doing this exercise. Keep your feet, dig into your feet all the way up, press into your heels, and press into your glutes, squeeze, keep your knees together, and all the way back down. Now we're going to do a little bit of a stretch called a figure 4 stretch. So take your right leg and your right ankle over your left knee, and you can either grab the back of your left thigh, or if you're a little bit more flexible, you can actually grab over your shin. And this is called a figure 4 stretch. So whatever works for you. This is also a really good hip opener. And it'll open up that back part of those glutes and part of the hamstring as well, which is really good for people that do a lot of sitting. And relax, and then take the opposite leg, your left knee over your right thigh, and either reach behind your right thigh, or if you can, reach your shin. That's okay too. If not, just take behind the right thigh. And try to keep your upper body on the ground. Try to keep your neck and your chin long and on the ground. This is really about your legs, not about, you don't want to arch your spine. And we'll do a few more seconds on this leg. And don't press your leg, but try to think of externally rotating the thigh. Try to think of pushing your knee out without actually using your hands. So opening up the leg, and go back down. And we're gonna do one more set of this. So take your feet hip distance apart and see if you can get them closer to your booty, and shoulder blades firm on the ground, hands down, and we're gonna go ahead and roll up the spine and then come back down. And then one more time, here we go, up. Now raise your heels if that makes it easier. It's a little bit more challenging on the front end, but then it helps rolling back down. So roll all the way up, keep those knees together, and keep the shoulder blades on the ground, and then down. We're gonna do this a couple more times. So roll up, Squeeze, and then back down, and then up. Make sure you squeeze your booty in, and then squeeze those knees together. This is a really good glute isolation exercise. And then keep going. Give me about 2 more. If this is really easy, then don't worry. Check out my next couple videos because I'll add some variations to make this video, to make this exercise way more challenging for all of you advanced people. Okay, we're gonna do that stretch one more time. So take your right leg over your left thigh and hold in for that figure 4 stretch, making sure that your head and your neck are on the ground. And then go ahead and switch sides. This is, once again, this is really good for your hip abductors, your glutes, and the outside of those IT band as well. It's the beginning of that IT band. And then feet on the ground and ready for the next exercise. And this next move are kneeling leg extensions. So go ahead and get on all 4s. Once again, if your knees are a little bit more sensitive, and you can go ahead and put a towel underneath to help. So take your left leg and make sure everything is over your wrists or over your shoulders and your hips are over your knees. So everything's in line, and keep your balance in the center of your body. So take your left leg and press out through the heel like you're about to kick a hole through the opposite wall. So no pointing your toes. You want to keep your foot flexed, but try to keep your weight in the center. Instead of rolling off, keeping your weight to the center and keeping your core engaged. Now bring that foot back and go to the right foot. So you want to make sure that your hip's not open, that you're basically going parallel to the floor and keeping your foot back down. So this is a very slow and controlled movement, but it's a very effective. Squeeze your glute on the way up and feel like you're kicking through the heel on each movement. Now press all the way through your hands, keeping your hands strong. If your wrists hurt, you can always go down to your elbows. This is easier for on your hands and your wrists, or you can make a fist, which is also a little bit easier on your wrists if your wrists hurt. So just keep going and just making sure to make every movement intentional, and squeeze and move through space with purpose. So don't just fling your leg out there. Push through the heel and squeeze your glute on the way up. Now give me a couple more right here, and then one more on the left leg, and then we're gonna stretch out those hamstrings. So now for a hamstring stretch. And if you feel this in your glutes, make sure to like my video, give me a comment, thumbs up, anything to tell me how I'm doing. So take that right leg and place it in front, and you wanna keep your weight in your hips. Now sink your hips backwards, and you should feel that stretch in that right hamstring. Slightly bend your knee if this is too intense, and you can place your hands on the ground as well. Or you can come up and just hinge forward, but making sure to keep that right hip back. Don't go like that, that's cheating yourself. So bring that right hip back, and then with a straight spine, hinge forward to get a little bit more of intense of a stretch. Now come back up and bring your knee back underneath, and then we'll do the opposite leg. So bring your leg out. You can have a slight bend in the leg if it's too intense, and then you can place your hands on the ground as long as you have a straight spine. No hunching over like this. We want a straight back. If you can't have a straight back, then don't hinge forward. Making sure you keep that left hip back. You should really feel the stretch all along your hamstring. For those that have tight hamstrings, this is a really great stretch. Now we're gonna go do the opposite side. And if it's easier for you to get into it on all 4s, you can do that too. So then straighten your leg and then sink that right hip back. You can keep your hands on the ground as long as you have a straight spine. And then the other leg, left leg forward, and then press it back. So we do like the glasses, yes. So we stay with them. Sometimes when I get really sweaty, they kind of slip down my nose, but I kind of like it. So back onto all 4s, and then on to our next move. So our next set of leg extensions, we're gonna add a variation. So make sure that you're not arched too much like this, and that you're not, or you have a flat back, okay? So keeping your belly sucked into your spine, kick that right foot out, and if you can, if you're balanced on all four sides, lift that left arm up straight as well. Bring it back down, kick that left leg out, bring the right arm up, and you should be balanced on both sides. And we'll just go ahead and add that variation. If the first variation is challenging enough for you, then just stay there. Try to make sure that your legs and your arms are going parallel to the floor. We don't want to go too exaggerated. It's a very small, subtle movement, but very effective. Squeeze your glutes still on the way up and press through that heel. Now breathe. Make sure you keep breathing throughout these exercises. Although they may seem simple, breathing is very important. So we'll just keep going. This is a nice little core, arm, and glute exercise. So you get, it's like a 3 for 1. Give me another couple on each side. Last set right here. Squeeze that right glute, push through the heel, and then squeeze, push through the heel, and then come back up for our hamstring stretch. So bring your right leg forward and straighten that leg for the hamstring stretch. And if you can, come all the way up, making sure that your right hip is pressed back. And then if it doesn't hurt too much, if it's not too tight, then you can bring your arms forward. I'll show all of these moves in a stretching video that is going to be specific to glutes, your butt, your legs, your hamstrings. Go ahead and switch legs. All of these things that we're exercising and we're working right now, in addition to giving you some more videos to add a little bit more of a challenging element to each of those exercises, we're also going to be adding a stretching video at the very end to make sure that you work on that mobility, your hips are nice and loose, and you can feel good and be strong. This next exercise is a lying hamstring curl. So it's really simple. Lay on your stomach and make sure that your feet, your toes are in, and take that right knee and bend that right knee. And all you're gonna do for this movement is a very small, subtle movement. Squeeze your butt and lift your knee about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. That's all that we're doing. So it's a really small movement. It's a little hamstring curl, but it's very, very effective. And we're gonna build on this the next couple of exercises. Now one more, and then down to the ground. Make sure you keep your feet flexed for this exercise. And then lift up about 1 inch off the ground. Try to keep your knees in, so don't splay your knees out like that. That's bad. So really small, subtle movement, 1 to 2 inches off the ground, and making sure that you squeeze your glute right here on the way up. And then relax. And now we're gonna do a little quad stretch. So take your right hand and grab your right foot. See if you can also grab it with your left as well. And just pull back a little bit, stretch out that quad. If you can, making sure that your knees are pressed in together. Don't let your knees splay outward. Bring your knees in close, and that will protect your knees in case you have bad knees, or to prevent against having bad knees in the future. So take your left leg and grab with your left foot. Make sure instead of having a splayed out knee that you keep your knees tight and together. And that way it only stretches the quad. And this should feel really good after all those lunges we just did. Now, back to the other side, right foot, right hand. And then the other side again. And don't worry, if this is too easy, we're gonna give you some fun stuff to work on in the next couple of videos. This is the basic bikini butt workout video. The next ones get more challenging as you get better. So take that right leg and then hamstring curls off the ground, 1 to 2 inches. Subtle, small movement, but keep it controlled. And squeeze that glute on the way up. One more on the right side. and then foot down. Make sure to keep those feet flexed and push up like you're pushing towards the ceiling with the heel of your foot. And give me a couple more right here. These are really simple movements, but very, very, very effective. One more right here. And then now we're gonna stretch. So take that right arm and that right knee. Make sure to keep those knees together and then stretch out that quad. And then one on the left side. So make sure if you guys are feeling this, if it is helping with your hips, if you're feeling any tightness at all and you're feeling it go away, if you feel that little burn in your booty, go ahead and give me a comment. Share me with your friends. You should do exercises like this. Stretch the right side now, about twice a week. If you want to work on one specific body part like the butt or the legs, do it twice a week. Don't do it every day. You want to have time for your muscles to break down and then eat good food so you build them back up. Left foot, and you want to build up nice, long, lean muscles, but you have to rest and eat properly in order to do that. So thanks for following along to my videos. This is Dena Maddie. Make sure to check out my website at todayiwillbefit.com and like, comment, and thumbs up this video. Also, subscribe to Psychetruth to check out all my other workout videos, and make sure to wait for the rest of our Bikini Model Butt Workout series.